Have you ever wondered what's really going on in a real estate market where a mountain view might just be the most valuable asset? Well, today we're doing a deep dive. We're unpacking a really detailed market report on Canmore, one of Canada's most incredible mountain towns. We're going to break down all the complex data into a clear story so you can see what's actually happening. Let's get into it. But, before we even touch the numbers, you have to get the feel of the place. And this quote, it just says it all. Calm and anticipation. See, this isn't just about houses and condos. It's about a whole lifestyle. That magnetic pull of the mountains, that's the real engine driving every single number we're about to look at. So, how did we get to this point? Honestly, the market's been on a wild ride. We're going to trace its journey all the way from that crazy post-pandemic surge to the much calmer, more stable market we're seeing today. Understanding this path is absolutely key to making sense of where things stand.
Okay, a quick but really important heads up, and this comes straight from the source material. Canmore is a pretty small market, right? So that means just a couple of big sales can make the quarterly stats look, well, super dramatic. The key is to remember to zoom out and look at the overall trend, not get caught up in those short-term spikes.
And this timeline just leaves it all out perfectly. First, you had the surge back in 2021 and 22. Think bidding wars, record prices, just total frenzy. Then things cooled off into the stabilization, where prices stayed high, but buyers started to take a breath. And that leads us right to where we are now, the normalization. The market's still strong, for sure, but way more thoughtful.
All right, so with that big picture in mind, let's zoom in. We're going to break the market down into Canmore's 5 key property types, because believe me, each one tells its own unique story.
First up, apartments. If you're looking for the roller coaster ride of the Canmore market, this is it. This segment is definitely the most volatile, and it feels the ups and downs of the market more than any other property type.
And wow, just look at the scale of that swing. The average price rocketed past $1 million in 2024. Now it's settled back down to around $815,000. It's so important to see this not as a crash, but really as a correction to a more sustainable price point. And demand is still absolutely there for the best units. The ones with those killer views and great layouts.
Now, for a complete change of pace, let's talk townhomes. This segment is the polar opposite of apartments. It's been the absolute rock of this market. The big driver here is that huge demand for the ideal lock-and-leave lifestyle. You get all the mountain access you could want without all the upkeep.
And the numbers, they back this up in a massive way. The average price hit $1.08 million in late 2022. And today, guess what? It's still at $1.08 million. That is just incredible value retention. It's really a testament to how much people want this exact type of home.
Next up, let's get into duplexes. Now, this category has totally transformed itself into a real luxury player, going toe-to-toe with single-family homes. These are for buyers who want all the high-end finishes and big, generous spaces, but maybe in a more streamlined package. And this single number, it tells you everything you need to know about the absolute peak of that luxury demand. Just let that sink in for a second. $2.18 million. That was the average price for a duplex in late 2023. And while things have balanced out a bit since then, that figure is such a powerful reminder of just how high the ceiling for luxury in Canmore can be.
Okay, now for a really unique category, hotel condos. Think of these as a kind of hybrid investment. They're totally tied to the tourism market, so they offer income potential, but they're also a lifestyle purchase. And with tourism in Alberta absolutely booming, this segment is seeing some really steady and healthy activity.
And finally, that brings us to the benchmark, single-family homes. In a lot of ways, this is the segment that really sets the tone for the entire Canmore market. How these homes are doing is often seen as the truest test of long-term confidence. This table really tells the story of sustained strength. Just look at that climb from 2021 to a peak average price of over $2.3 million in 2024, which was really fueled by new high-end builds. And even as the market is normalized in 2025, that average price is still holding strong above $2 million. That shows real deep-seated confidence in the market.
So, after looking at all these different pieces of the puzzle, what's the big picture looking forward? Well, the overall feeling is definitely one of confidence. The market is stable, and that core appeal of the Canmore lifestyle, it's as strong as it's ever been.
And this right here is the key takeaway about the market's character today. That frantic, gotta buy now pace is gone.
Now it's all about more deliberate buyers. They're not just rushing to grab any property, they're taking their time, making sure they find the absolute perfect fit for their life.
So who exactly are these buyers in Canmore? It's actually a really interesting mix. You've got a strong group of professionals coming from Calgary, Edmonton, and all across the prairies, all looking for that mountain escape. But you also have a very active local market. Residents who are upsizing for their families or maybe downsizing for a new phase of life. It's this blend that really keeps the market so resilient.
And this final quote really just brings it all home. After the wild ride of that post-pandemic surge, the Canmore market has landed in a really healthy, balanced place. It is stable, and its core appeal, that desirability, is as powerful as ever. So we're left with one final question to think about. We've looked at all the data, all the trends, the different property types, but it all points back to something you just can't put on a spreadsheet. In a market like this, what's the real price of a mountain view? For a lot of people, it seems the answer is still priceless.